you moved to Vancouver.
Yes.
I stayed in Toronto, and what you required from a friendship and what my expectation was of a long distance friendship didn't line up. And it literally wasn't until years later. We both moved to LA. We went on this trip together to Coachella, and we just talked it out. And it was all these little like aha moments, because you know when the friendship's gotten weird.
Yes.
You know when there's like this thing, there's this strain, and I introduced you to a friend that you became closer with.
Andrea.
Yes. Well, I didn't want to. I wasn't sure.
Okay, so should we hold on? Let's do that. I
No.
introduced you for
It's fine. We'll leave it. Let's edit this. Got it together. Hello there, lovers. Today I'm joined by my lover and my friend. I'm Fremily.
Fremily. You know when I wrote that on your Instagram? It looked like friend, enemy, family.
Frenemy is, oh yeah. This actually speaks to the video that we just did on your channel, which is talking about drama, YouTube drama, calling people out. This video is really all about friendships. As I did that video with Andrea and we talked about the loss of our friendship and us breaking up, there was so many comments from people talking about the relationships that they've had with friends that they have lost. And this is a sex, love, and relationship channel, and that's a massive part of it that I don't think I really talk about. And so today I brought on my best friend. That's new for
Emergency
us.
contact.
Emergency contact.
You know, I think in my head you were always my best friend for a long time, and you would always refer to other people as your best friend, and I'd be like,
no, I feel the opposite. You, because you and Fran,
well, yeah, we met like years ago on set.
we met like 10 plus years ago.
You know, you old one.
Yeah, we met prior to you doing YouTube, prior to me doing YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think what happened with me and Maya when we came together, we had different ideals of what the other person was going to be in that person's life.
Expectations.
Different expectations.
Yeah.
Because I viewed you as a mentor and as
And I viewed you as like a peer.
like a friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, like Maya's somebody who I call when I need help or want guidance, or she's somebody whom I like want to work around, but I didn't necessarily, and maybe that was part of just me not thinking that we could be friends.
Right.
Because I'm like, no, like you were engaged at the time, and
I see.
you had just like, you were like this massive photographer in Canada, and so I don't think I looked at myself in high enough regard to be like, we could be friends.
And I looked at you as friends.
Yes.
Maybe that's what it was. I'm just realizing that right now.
Yeah.
And then, so Shannon had an expectation for me that I didn't deliver on.
Yeah.
And she would act weird. And I'm like, why is this girl acting weird? And I was like, you know what, I'm done.
Because I remember you did this one photo shoot. It was a really beautiful shoot. This guy was smoking.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, well, you should have called me. Like, I would have like helped. I would have assisted. And then like, I think you made some kind of flippant comment that was like,
really?
Yeah. And I was hurt by that. Like,
oh, I see. I didn't even know.
right. But you didn't know, because then you're probably like, you're my friend. Like, I'm not going to call you to hold my reflector.
Yeah, no. Communication is so key. Like, I'm realizing, take space to process your thoughts and your feelings, but when you can, learn how to articulate those in a way that expresses what you're going through without attacking someone.
Yes.
I feel like that's like the best way if you're interested in saving a friendship or growing and developing one.
Mm-hmm. What has been your biggest heartbreak? The loss of a friend or loss of a relationship?
I would say biggest heartbreak was my marriage.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
like
that
the
makes sense.
biggest heartbreak. Come on.
That does make sense.
That was the worst.
Were you guys friends though too?
I feel so because we talked all the time. There's just you're in each other's space, like your biology, your chemistry, everything, your communication, everything is wired to this person that you spend all this time with. So to lose that, it was like I think the biggest heartbreak. But I've lost friends too.
My biggest heartbreak was the loss of Andrea as a friend.
I know, I was there for that.
And the loss of
the sidelines.
my friend Danny. And that was another friend that I lost.
Who's Danny?
Danny, and Paul. Shout out to 1985 from Division. We lost the friendship because of romantic.
Oh.
Because there was we were all so close, and I think that he started to.
Oh, he had feelings for you.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But I don't think they were real feelings. I think it was just like, I deeply appreciate you, but you're somebody of the opposite sex, so I think I'm supposed to be attracted to you.
Okay.
And so now I'm going to start reading into everything that you do. And it just became impossible for us to be platonic friends after that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was so difficult because I just loved him so much as a person, and I loved having him around so much, and it was an abrupt, like we couldn't be around each other anymore. So that, I don't know, I think that people really underestimate how hard it can be to lose a friend.
Yeah, to lose a friend. I remember with all this, speaking of friendships and losing that on a public platform like YouTube, I'm watching this and I'm like, that happened to me behind closed doors. with some YouTubers.
Yes.
And it was like, that fucking sucks.
Because you still see them to this day, and it's like this weird...
I hate weirdness, and I feel like, I guess some time needs to pass before people can come to a place where they talk it out, and then they can go about their business. Sometimes it is what it is. You gotta just keep rolling.
I would love for you and that particular YouTuber to talk it out. Not that there's any real value. And that's it gets so tricky too. This is where I think the difference as an adult now between my friends and people that I'm keeping a distance and I just understand but don't necessarily invite in is understanding my intent.
Right.
Like when you know the heart of who I am and what it is that I want for the people that I care about, I feel like there's less questioning.
It's the questioning. You don't want to be around people that make you feel insecure.
Yes.
And that question your motives. Like, I know Shannon and I know how she is, and her personality is fine for me. It doesn't work with everyone. And everyone's like, oh, how can you be? And I'm like, I get Shannon. Like, I get where she's coming from. It doesn't even faze me. Some of the times I don't even see it. It's the only times that I'm aware of anything is when it's done to me or at me. Then I'm like, why are you being mean? Like, leave me alone. I'm leaving.
Or when we're at parties and I make a comment to someone in the bathroom that you're like, what? Remember we went to Patrick's party?
Then I'll have to call her out. But that's not like, I don't go around and saying like, I hate Shannon, like she's an awful human being. I'm like, Shannon says dumb shit, and it's important to call her out on it because she doesn't even know. But I can't even help myself. I'm like, Shannon, shut the hell up.
Yeah, but I think it's also, again, when you know what the heart of somebody is, what their intent, and it makes it so much easier too when you know that person's family. And I think with you, like people's perception of you sometimes, of like your work self, if you meet your mom, it makes total sense.
Yes.
Right?
I am the carbon copy of my mom.
But if everybody else, it might be a complete shock factor, especially because you see me at Maya as being super sweet and like understanding and loving, but like your work mode is like, this is the goal, this is what I want to get done, and I'm not necessarily flexible to any of people's... I'm not flexible because I know what the vision is and what my creative intent is. And so I think
you understand that about me too.
I totally understand that about you.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's why we even work well together. And
because we had a moment, slumber party.
We had a moment.
In the beginning. And and somehow I think you made the adjustment.
Because I recognized, even though it can be a partnership, because we were partnering on that project, there's always someone who's, it's really their shit. Right. Like we're partnering, but like we're partnering like this. We're not ever like this. And so when I recognized that I'm like this, I was like, it became so much easier.
Right.
Because I'm like, I'm here to facilitate, support, and bring ideas that feel like they're fueling what your original train of thought is.
Right.
I'm not here to derail you.
Right.
And that's just a big difference.
I wanted pajamas. She wanted silk robes.
I wanted silk robes.
Not happening. She wanted wine. I wanted popcorn.
Yes.
I'm happy to come to your channel and do that.
What advice would you give out there for people who want enriching, fulfilling, long-lasting, purposeful friendships?
Know when to step back and play the tambourine. Not every moment is your moment. Like, let your friends have some shine.
Yes.
And know when that is and when to celebrate them, and just be a good helper.
And you have to always look, I think when celebrities get on and they're like, well, it's hard for me to be friends with the same people because they think I've changed but I haven't. It's like, maybe you haven't changed, but the dynamic has changed, and you have to find a way to balance that again. So even if you are the superstar friend and maybe your friend is a superstar in other ways, you have to, like, as a friend, look for a way to play the tambourine for them. No one can be the lead singer at all times.
Right.
I don't think successful friendships work that way. You've got to find a space where you can be a supporter, when you can be the person in the audience for your friend.
Yes. I think that's major.
Me too.
Because a lot of people have problems seeing their friends win. I'm like, what's your problem? You're going to win one day? Shannon used to be my plus one. We talked about this.
Yes.
And now I'm Shannon's plus one. And it's okay because there are ebbs and flows, and you just have to know that everyone's time is going to come, but in this time right now, just be a good support system.
I'm still your plus one. What are you talking about?
I'm your plus one.
I was your plus one on like Friday. I would say know when to just listen.
Oh, yeah.
Just listening. A lot of your job as a friend is just listening.
I need to do that more then.
You do it great. We always have this debate, actually.
My opinion.
We have this debate all the time when you recognize something about a friend and you're like, should I step in and try to tell them about themselves?
Oh, right.
Or should I try and step in and tell them about their relationship? Should I try and step in and give them advice? And the answer is always no. Yeah. Your job as a friend is not to be a therapist. It's not to be a life coach. It's not to be a modifier. It's just to be
an ear.
It's to be a cheerleader. It's to be the fun time in someone's life. And when they want you to be the modifier, when they want you to step in and be the preacher in their life, they'll probably ask you. But you wait for that moment. And even then when that person asks you, you still have to be... Like, I think the same thing too, like when you were going through your breakup with your ex, because it was a long-ish breakup before it finally broke.
Oh, yeah.
I made sure, I didn't say nothing.
You did not.
No, because I'm just like... You're gonna figure it out in the time that's right for you. But on top of that as well too, who am I to judge? I know so little, and that's the thing too. As a friend,
you only hear the
bad.
Yeah.
Your friend's not calling you and being like, guess, and it's kind of obnoxious if they do.
Right.
If they're like, we're just laying right now on the bed watching Netflix, chilling. You're like, is there a point to the story? Is this going somewhere? I would love to hear in the comment section below what you're struggling with when it comes to friendship. What is something right now, if we were even to start like a small series just talking about friendships in general, the same way we talk about romantic relationships, what's something that you're currently going through or a question you have about friendship you'd like to discuss? And yeah, I'd love to hear what, like, for you makes up a great friend.
Black